This is Brandon Lee with BetFirms.com here with your 2012 Clemson football predictions. The Clemson Tigers were the surprise of the ACC last season with their 8-0 start. Clemson beat Virginia Tech twice, including a 38-10 triumph in the ACC title game. However, this team lost 4 of its last 6, including a 33-70 blowout loss to West Virginia in the BCS Orange Bowl. The defending ACC champs must find a way to regain the mojo they had during the first two-thirds of the 2011 season. With 14 starters and 48 lettermen returning, the Tigers will once again be a contender in the ACC's Atlantic division. The offense is loaded with talent, but the defense must find a way to make improvements if they want to contend for an ACC crown. Here's a look at the personnel on both sides of the ball, as well as my prediction on where Clemson will finish in the Atlantic division. The Tigers featured the most explosive offense in the ACC a year ago. They averaged 33.6 points and 441 total yards per game. With 7 starters returning, including all their best skill players, the Tigers are primed to lead the ACC in total offense again in 2012. Junior quarterback Taj Boyd is back after earning first-team All-ACC honors last year. He certainly exceeded expectations, completing 59.7% of his passes for 3,828 yards with 33 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. Boyd also rushed for 218 yards and 5 scores. True freshman Chad Kelly is one of the most highly touted quarterbacks in the country, and he is expected to be the quarterback of the future at Clemson. Senior Andre Ellington returns at running back after rushing for 1,176 yards and 11 touchdowns last year. This backfield is loaded with depth and talent as sophomores Mike Bellamy and DJ Howard both return. Clemson boasts one of the best receiving corps in the country. Sammy Watkins earned first-team All-American honors as a freshman last year after catching 82 balls for a school record 1,219 yards and 12 touchdowns. Junior DeAndre Hopkins is back after benefiting greatly from double teams to Watson. Senior Jerome Brown also returns. The biggest concern on offense is the loss of 3 starters along the O-line. The Tigers lose a combined 3,363 plays from last year's unit. 2 starters return in first-team All-ACC center Dalton Freeman and left tackle Brandon Thomas. Only 48 career starts return, so it will be hard to see this unit performing as well as it did a year ago. Clemson managed to win 10 games last year in spite of a defense that surrendered 29.3 points and 394 total yards per game. 7 starters return on defense, including 6 of their top 8 tacklers, so this unit should be able to improve upon its poor 2011 numbers. The defensive line will be the biggest question mark heading into 2012. That's because this unit loses second-team All-American Andre Branch, first-team All-American nose guard Brandon Thompson, and defensive tackle Rennie Moore. Senior defensive end Malachi Goodman is the lone returning starter. Clemson is expected to start 3 sophomores up front this season, so a drop-off in production is almost a certainty. The Tigers should boast one of the best linebacker corps in the ACC. This unit is expected to be so good that returning starters Quandon Christian and Jonathan Willard are each expected to back up sophomore strong side linebacker Tony Stewart and senior weak side linebacker Coraco Hawkins. Sophomore middle linebacker Stephon Anthony could be the best of the bunch. I expect significant improvement in pass defense this season, considering the secondary returns 7 players who started last year. Senior strong safety Rashard Hall is the best of the bunch after leading the team in tackles last season. Senior free safety Xavier Brewer and sophomore corner Bashad Breeland are good ones as well. Now for my ACC prediction. I have Clemson picked to finish second in the Atlantic division. The Tigers may very well be the second best team in the ACC, but the problem is that they share the same division as the loaded Florida State Seminoles. The offense should be just as explosive as it was a year ago, and the defensive back 7 is about as good as it gets in the ACC. However, I'm concerned about the key losses along the offensive and defensive lines, and the Tigers must travel to play Florida State. They also play Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech out of the Coastal, making for a tougher schedule than the Seminoles. Clemson won't be repeating as Atlantic Division champs in 2012.